Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer. I'm a new YouTuber and I'm new at this. If I struggle a bit, please bear with me. So today I want to talk about why I am obese and how did I get here. You're being 330 pounds. It's kind of a long story and I will try to make it really short, but I can expand on it in future videos. When I was younger, when I was a child, I was overweight, but not too overweight. And then when I became a teenager, I became very skinny after having an illness that led me to go to the hospital. And after the illness, I was skinny for a long time in my teenagehood. And by the time I was 16, 17, I started to put on weight, and it was mostly in my belly area, and it was just accumulating and accumulating. And I didn't know anything about nutrition. I just ate at that point what my parents gave me, and I had no money, so I couldn't buy food for myself. And but my parents they were just trying to like survive, so just make sure we're alive, we have food to eat, and that was it. And I don't think that they were very much also educated in nutrition, so they did the best, absolute best that they could. And I'm thankful for how they took care of us to the best of their ability. And that was, sorry, every time I'm thinking, I look down. So that's kind of how I think. I look down to think. So I'm going to try to stop doing that and just keep looking at you. So when I got into college, I had some money my parents gave me, but that meant that I could spend money on the food I wanted and what I liked. And I just kept putting on the weight, putting on the weight. And my depression, I dealt with depression for almost all my life, and my depression came full force when I was in college, and I was battling depression while I was studying pharmacy um, in school. And because of that, my weight just kept climbing up and climbing up, and food was kind of the only thing I found joy in. And in my childhood, there was a lot of trauma coming from my childhood, and I did not enjoy my life, to say the least. It was just not great as a child. And when I got into college, it seems like all the trauma I had endured in my childhood kind of became full blown. The effect of it became full blown by the time I had gotten to college, and I was trying to deal with it, and I didn't have the tools to deal with it. There wasn't anything like therapy or anyone to talk to, and I just kind of buried all my pain within me because I had been taught as a child not to speak, just obey. And that was what I did. I never spoke my pain. I never let it out. So it was killing me inside. And I think maybe one of the ways it showed was through depression. And the only way I got through my depression was leaning on food. I did not have friends. I did not have any relationships. So I was very lonely, and that added another layer to the depression. So after learning to cope with depression with food, it became a lifelong thing where I basically just kept eating to feel better, eat, and just food is enjoyable, and food is very good where I come from, and very social, and it's just enjoying life meant eating food and having good food. So that's what I did. And but it was destroying my body slowly, and by the time I came here, my weight started increasing exponentially. Before then, I just was overweight, and then I was becoming obese, but it was a slow, gradual process. And I never at that point struggled with any eating issues. And by the time I came here, like I said, my weight started compounding excessively, and before I knew it, I was 375 pounds. That was the highest weight I saw, and by the time I came to that realization, I was scared, and that was the first time in my life I actually tried to research stuff about nutrition, and I just googled how to lose weight, and I found out about intermittent fasting and walking. And before then, like I said, this being my first time to try to lose weight. Of course, before this moment, I had tried fad diets, like just starving myself and so many things I wouldn't mention on here, just things because I desperately wanted to lose the weight because I wasn't feeling good, and it almost seemed like no one was physically attracted to me because of my weight. And so there were periods of times where I lost weight, and when I lost weight, it seems like I all of a sudden became attractive, even though I was the same person. And when I would gain the weight back, there would be no one around. Well, I know it's more complex than that, and it's just not on my weight, but my weight has been a part of my struggles, and I became overweight by simply overeating and overindulging in food. And the problem with that is by the time I had become obese, I had developed insulin resistance and PCOS. PCOS, I believe I might have had since I was a teenager, but just was never diagnosed till I became an adult. So those things make it even more difficult for me to lose the weight now. So I would lose 40 pounds and I would gain 50 pounds, things like that. So like I was saying about intermittent fasting, once I discovered that that was a way people were using to lose weight, I decided to do the 1 meal a day because I wasn't a stranger to fasting. I'd fasted in the past, and but not for weight loss. So but this time I was fasting for weight loss, and it was quite interesting. I just went for the 1 meal a day because I was scared. I was barely able to walk. I was barely able to move, and to just walk for 5 minutes. I was shocked at how much weight I had, and it was just mind-boggling. And by the time I started, this was November 2021, I was 375 pounds, and in 5 months, just by increasing my steps and eventually going 10,000 steps a day and eating only 1 meal a day at 6 p.m., I was able to lose 60 pounds in 5 months. So by March, I was down 60 pounds, and I would have kept going and keeping that momentum because I loved what I was doing. But then I had a gallbladder issue where I had to have emergency surgery, and my gallbladder was taken out. And that was kind of like a derailment to my the momentum I had built. And from then, I now started eating my normal 3 meals a day. I was struggling. Every time I tried to fast, it was so difficult, and it took me years, but eventually I was able to lose a total of 100 pounds. And by 2024, the lowest weight I ever saw was 248 pounds. Remember, my highest weight was 375 pounds, and it was good to see that, but I struggled so hard to get there. And because of that kind of aggressive trying to lose weight, even though I was doing it in my mind the right way, I wasn't fasting as much. Oh no, I was fasting, but I was eating my vegetables, fruits, going for walks, but it seems like maybe I wasn't consuming enough calories, and my body kind of when I got to that low weight of 248, low weight at least, and my body kind of revolted, and I now became ravenous and hungry more than usual. And all of a sudden I was eating, and no matter how much I ate, I would not be satisfied. I would have a balanced breakfast and something that could fill me up and keep me for 3-4 hours in the past. Now, an hour after eating my balanced breakfast with carbs, protein, and vegetables, and sometimes even fruit, with that, and fats, even avocado or something, within an hour, I'm hungry again, and I would eat again, and then I would still be hungry. So there was this endless hunger. And I saw a dietitian for all of last year, 2025, and she said the cause of that was the insulin resistance and the PCOS, and I just didn't know what to do. My body was fighting me, and keeping me from losing weight. So I would lose 10 pounds here, and then I would gain 20 pounds. I would lose 40 pounds, I would gain 50 pounds. So that's where I've been for the last year, and I've just been struggling terribly, you know, and it's not been great at all. And now I'm kind of at a standstill because this year I've been battling breast cancer, and it's been hard, but now I still want to lose the weight, and I'm trying to see what options and what I can do to lose the weight. But this is the reason why I'm obese. Just as a summary, the reason why I'm obese is because I overindulge in food and do not move my body enough. I lived a very sedentary life, and again, it was due to the depression. And even when I came out of the depression, it was a learned lifestyle, and I kept doing that. And now that I have, since 2021, been trying to lose weight, I lost over 120 pounds, but still gained back more than 70 pounds. And now I'm struggling and trying my best to lose the weight because I do not want to be obese for my health and just to be able to enjoy my life. So these are the reasons why I'm obese. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section, and please consider subscribing to my channel as you watch me try to lose this weight. And I share everything about my life. I share things about books. I love reading books. I just got a new book yesterday from yeah. So I got this new book. It's a poetry collection. I don't know if I have mentioned that I am a poet. I think maybe my bio says that. I am a poet. I have written 4 books, but I got this book as a gift, and so I'm gonna be reading it. And yeah, that's kind of where I am. I'm gonna share and vlog and show what I'm eating and what my life is like in a day. I'm gonna show what options I take regarding weight loss this time, and I'm gonna show everything. And I hope that you consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.